welcome to the Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary. This is your host, Scotty B. Friends, we are back for Season 5. I'm very excited to be putting together some very different content in Season 5. Something strange going on. And the only thing that's not strange that's going on is we are going to start the season off in a very similar fashion as we have to in seasons from the past. A very special guest who will hopefully be on the show a little bit more this season with the changes that we have going on. I am very, very excited and happy to, because I haven't talked to him in quite a while. We have a lot to talk about today, friends. Please welcome Anthony Cosjitsu back to the show. Anthony, how are you doing?
How we doing, Scotty?
We are good. I've got my show personality, I think, has improved over time. And I'm really oh, you have been doing some amazing stuff, just amazing stuff. I mean,
I appreciate that.
We have a few notes to kind of keep us on track today, but I really would love to get into the weeds on some of the things that you have been doing. It has been like a year since we've been on the show, and we've really been able to talk about.
Yeah, it's been a year and change. Yeah, been a year and change, 14 months. I remember bits and pieces of our conversation from last time. I remember I told you like I had some things coming up.
Yeah.
And those things happened and more that I didn't even expect as time went on. So I wouldn't even know where to begin, like between the shoots, between like the group shoots, the conventions, like the new cosplays I've done, like all the great couple cosplays I've done with Liza. Shout out to my girlfriend Liza. Love you so much.
Shout out to Liza.
Liza _cosplay. But we could
we could go all the way back. We can, I mean, if you want to go back, like I honestly I don't remember much before Seattle Comic-Con.
Well, I know we spoke back. This is probably going back like May 2022, I think.
Yeah.
So like the previous May, yeah. And then we had, CradleCon, and then CradleCon came up, and I said some big things were coming up, and one of those big things is like so many weeks later I became a member of the New York Avengers. So
that's really awesome.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, I don't know if I didn't go into detail last time, but if you look at my page, I'm a part of the New York Avengers, the Doctor Strange for the New York Avengers, and we're just a straight up charity group. We visit children's hospitals, a lot of events that are geared towards children, mostly Marvel, as you can see by the name New York Avengers. Obviously, we go into other things too with Cosplay for a Cause. So we have Star Wars groups. There's the girls that do princesses. We've had some other various groups here and there, but and some DC as well. They were just at the Brooklyn Cyclones game recently doing that. Yeah. It's one hell of a cause. We do some great things. We have an amazing group of people that that's been built up. That's been it took years to build up to get to this point. People come and go. And we're definitely at a point where we have a lot of like great people with versatile characters, whether they do Marvel or DC or even Game of Thrones. There was a Game of Thrones events earlier in the year. Star Wars, of course, and there's definitely a lot more low-key members of our group that are big anime fans too. So but yeah, it's it's a great cause. Check it out, New York Avengers on Instagram. I think they should be on Facebook as well.
Yes, and you can I will link to them in the show notes for all of
the all the social media. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a lot of work. I don't know if anybody really thinks about this, but not just I know firsthand, just like coordinating cosplayers in a space is not an easy thing to do, let alone photo shoots, let alone worthy causes. That is a huge, and there's press, there's media, there's panels, there's everything. You have to be prepared, and you have to, you're putting on the cosplay, you are going in his character, and you are also there, you're representing a group, and you're also representing the community, and it's not low pressure for a group like this to do as many tremendous
not low pressure. Yeah.
Really appreciate the support that the group does send to the show as well. I've interviewed many
Mhm.
many members of the New York Avengers,
Oh
and
yeah,
have really just had nothing but good things to say about what the group does as time has gone
appreciate
on.
that.
It's really just a very amazing group. Very cool stuff that you all work on and through. I'm actually kind of stoked that you have become an official member of the team.
Yeah. So it's been a little more than a year. And just to add on to what you just said, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, like this, like, we say we all agree that cosplay is for fun, but this is now you get into the realm where like actually looking like the character matters,
Mm-hmm.
because you're dealing with kids. You want them to believe that they're actually, seeing their favorite superhero. I mean, obviously, no one's going to look like that person to a T, but when it comes to the quality of the costume and like the belt and everything else, like you got to be on point. We're just straight up charity. This is not a non-for-profit.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not like we don't take donations. There's no account where we're getting money from that pays for. This is straight up we're donating our time and some of our money and et cetera to do this.
And yeah, this is all coming from the group itself, that you don't go out and ask for anything. It's all 100% you giving back to the community, to the groups, to the causes, the hospitals, the kids, families that are all involved with this. And that is nothing to just minimize or marginalize. It's such a huge thing.
Yeah.
And it's something that I really do enjoy sharing on the show,
Mhm.
especially this season, because this is kind of the woo woo rah rah season if I've ever had one. This is all about focus, mindset, and just the things that you can do. I think that this is probably, it's almost like season one rebooted, because
Yeah.
it's kind of where I wanted to start with things. And now I think enough has come into focus, and I'm comfortable enough with the show finally after 4.5 years that that I feel really just grateful to have found such amazing people in this community, and that we've grown a little bit together. We've shared a lot together, and even though we're 1,000 miles apart, I really do feel like that there are members of the groups that, and just people that I've talked to over time,
Oh yeah.
that we share a thing, we share a fandom, we share this space that we just, it's cosplay. And it's I don't do a lot of it myself. I spend most of my time
We'll be
doing the
doing more.
show. That the characterizations and just all the amazing stuff that you do, Anthony.
I
Not just, I
appreciate
mean,
that.
inside and outside of cosplay, you do all sorts of cool stuff.
I really appreciate that coming from you. I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how exactly how far away you are, but I appreciate you choosing, because cosplay is all over the country. Cosplay is all over the world. So for you to,
Mhm.
really have a lot of focus on, this, well, to me it's the tri-state area of I don't it's like the New York, Connecticut, Jersey area. So I really appreciate that you have a lot of strong bonds with people on this side of the cosplay community, because
Yeah,
this is a this is, for all the, for all the faults, it's a community that really, for lack of a better term, really bust their ass when it comes to their cosplays,
absolutely
so
do. Well, and you do. I mean, you do such a cool Doctor Strange, and I mean, every like I was looking at your Helsing, before the
hella
show.
card, yeah.
That's, yeah. I mean, it's just cool. Like,
Oh
and
my,
you've put together some cinematics, and you've done some different things. You've grown a lot.
I
There's
appreciate
a
that.
lot of, I see, just feeling more comfortable with the characters,
Oh
and
yeah.
kind of playing around the space a little bit more. This over the past while since we last talked, and
I've seen
I like what I'm seeing.
you've grown too, man, with your show. I've seen a lot. I've seen you get very comfortable with the show, and like, the guests you've had on, and just like, I mean, the fact that you've been this consistent for all these years, like especially with a podcast, especially with a show. Like I've seen a lot of people around me, they try to start it up and then it just kind of just like falls flat, and you're just like, no matter what, like you're still doing it and you're still like putting a lot of cosplayers' voices out there. So like that's highly appreciated.
But there's been a lot of growth, and with the things that I've seen, peaks and valleys, and just the different connections that have been made, and the way that people have developed. I remember when once upon a time, Liz Wonder was nobody really even had heard of her,
Yeah.
and suddenly she's on TikTok, and she's all over the place inside of the cosplay world.
Yeah.
Even my co-host Aster Void has done just so many amazing things.
Oh yeah.
Inside of the space since being on the show back in season 1, and that we've developed a pretty good rapport, and that just means so much to me, to be able to be on the show, to just be able to share and talk and be in this space. And yeah, I guess I've surprised I haven't run out of content yet. But
well, when there's interviews, when you got more interviews, there's always more content, right?
That's right. Well, and I'm always grateful that people want to come back on the show. They're not like, nah, I'm out. Which is nice. I did. I
mean, some people get nervous. I don't know. I guess some people get nervous. Some people get scared. Some people just like, they look back and like watch themselves on an interview and they're like, oh my god, like I don't know if I can do this again. So I don't know. It's some people just or some people just I don't know. I feel I feel like a lot of times there's sometimes a revolving door in the community. They're trying to build up. They get to a point, and how many people maintain it? I mean, to be honest with you, like if you kind of like look at the numbers in terms of age, like in the community, like probably somewhere the people that are late teens, early 20s, that probably consists of like most cosplayers in the community. And as you go up, like that number gets smaller and smaller. And obviously it could be many factors. It's like, like you've been doing it so long that you don't really stick with it anymore. And also the other thing is, some people think as they get older it's not something they should be doing. Or I mean, honestly, like life gets in the way and bills, and it could be like you might not have the time or the money to put it in anymore. So
yes, I do mention that later on in the season.
Yeah,
I talk about cosplay economics because
we could probably dedicate a whole podcast to that too, right?
it's kind of the first thing to go, right? Like, I mean, if you have to choose between your Wolverine cosplay and possibly groceries that week, I don't know. I guess it depends on how big of a fan you are, but for the most part, people are going to choose, like, especially in my demographic. I may have a couple of years on you, sir.
Probably
the mainstay is it's adults dressing up as their favorite characters, and I maybe I have a little bit of a different spin on that.
We joke about how it's an expensive hobby, so
it's number 2 below equestrian. So if you have horses, that's probably the most expensive,
and it has the potential to be more expensive than an equestrian, depending on how hardcore you are about it. So
I heard somebody won the lottery in Florida recently. It was like $1.5 billion. And it's like, well, after taxes and horses, he'll have about $3.50 left if he goes that route. So,
oh man, if I hit the lottery, like God knows what I would do at cosplay. I would rent out a space for a whole day and just get pictures taken with everyone or something like that. I don't know. I would definitely give back if I got all that money. So
I would probably have like WrestleCon or something like that. Like it would be, because I guess if we're going to talk about fandoms of the week, I do have some goofy things on my notes to go over. I will say that my fan of the week is probably Cody Rhodes. I was happy to see him, like, and this is not, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a wrestling podcast. If you want a wrestling podcast, I can refer you to several, but I don't even know how many people are even into WWE. Like
I'm a wrestling low-key. I'm a wrestling fan. You didn't know that.
So okay, this is good that we have this in common. because
A
I
lot.
wasn't sure. I mean, I know.
I'm watching since like the late '90s, man. I've been there
Oh,
since the Attitude Era. Yeah,
all right. So we
so
do have some
we're in
wrestling to
business.
discuss. Okay.
We're in
Yes.
business.
That was kind of like my heyday.
Yeah, me too.
After Hulkamania was pretty much like my childhood. But
Hulkamania was your childhood. That's interesting.
oh yeah, I
My
brother.
childhood was the Attitude Era. So,
Yeah, I didn't get there in 1984, but thereabouts. I think like one of the first VHS tapes that I rented locally was WrestleMania 4,
oh
and
damn.
it was I got it because as like a child, if you could get
Right.
two tapes for the price of one, like it was a two tape video because it was so long. I think it was like 4 something hours. So I was like, oh my gosh, there's two tapes. So of course we're gonna get this because we get it for the same price as everything else. So I like sat
Yeah.
there for what seemed like an eternity and watched that WrestleMania like as much as I could
Oh,
when I would rent it.
oh man, I've been watching the only time I took a break was like the late 2000s. I didn't have a good reason for stopping. I shouldn't have, but I'm an Attitude Era person and Ruthless Aggression, and I kind of came found my way back into 2010. And when I came back, everything was like very PG. I was like,
Yep, the
what
PG
is
era.
going on here? Which which like which I didn't know that like W wrestling in general is always supposed to be PG. It's just like the Attitude Era and WCW was kind of just like a rare treat. So I guess we were born during the right time, I guess. So but yeah, I'm a big wrestling fan. The Rock and Stone Cold are probably like one of my top two favorite all time. Um
Big Match John.
I love Cody Rhodes.
Cody
Uh
Rhodes is he's definitely my favorite at the moment.
I'm also
Um
feeling LA Knight. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
He did win a battle royal. I was excited to see him on the show. It was a weird spot for a battle royal, but hey, we got LA
Yeah.
Knight and we got Cody Rhodes picking up a W against Big Brock Lesnar, which
Oh yeah.
I just thought it was cool. Like I like the look. I want to replicate the look that Cody
Mhm.
Rhodes has. I don't know if I'm gonna wait for him to like win a title and then go buy whatever replica belt that goes along with him. But even like just like the kind of just pomp and circumstance of his look right now. Maybe not earlier in his career, but after AEW and coming back,
Yeah.
and just the response he gets and just the gratitude that he has for what he does. Like he gives just everything he has. He loves it. He's there when he's injured. He's there for the crowd. You know, he's doing it. You know, he lives it, and that's the
Oh
fun
yeah.
part. You know, as an entertainer, and you know, as somebody who's got a legacy. You know, but
I always love the whoa.
yes, I have his theme song on my phone, but it's
Yeah. No,
I'm
me too. Yeah. I always play that at least once every time I go to the gym. Not gonna
it's
lie.
I call it my walking out of work music, but it's I need my exit music as I'm walking out the door. But
But dude, no, I'm glad you're like a big wrestling head. That's really good to hear.
oh
And then
yes,
also shout out to the Bloodline storyline. And another notable shout out to probably the top female in the WWE right now, Rhea Ripley. And
Rhea to mommy.
to mommy, yeah.
Mm.
And yeah. And Liza pulled off. I don't know if you saw Liza's Rhea Ripley.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I saw the Liza and Trish
Oh,
combo
yeah.
going on. Do you
Liza
know
and Sam, yeah.
yeah, do you know the yeah, Liza and Sam,
Samson
sorry.
Dula.
It's
Samson Dula for those who don't know. That
yes.
when we say Sam.
Have I told you this? Did she tell you the story about the thing that happened back at C2E2 when I met Trish Stratus? Did she tell you this whole thing?
Oh yeah. She just posted it. She just posted the video of Trish like I'm here with your friend Scotty B. Like
Yeah.
that was awesome that you met her and that happened. That was cool.
Yeah, I told Lita and Trish were there at C2E2. There were actually a lot of wrestlers. I talked to quite a few different wrestlers at that show. I did not talk to Mark Calloway because the Undertaker was charging a lot of money, but Trish and Lita were
Yeah.
reasonable. And they're super nice. Like they are so nice. They came out with Mick
Oh,
Foley,
that's awesome.
Cactus Jack, and uh,
We went to a local convention recently, and the Big Show was there, and there were some other
oh,
wrestlers. Big Show was like, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to say the number, but like, I don't know. It was. I was just like, that's pretty steep. I mean,
hmm yeah,
yeah,
it was like
it's a
200
little
bucks for Undertaker. I was like, whoa.
okay. It was like 80 for show, but you know, it's still like the price is wow, 200 for Undertaker. Shit. I mean, damn. Like, I mean, like he knows his worth, but god damn. I
Yeah,
mean,
I thought that was a bit much. It's
that's the
like,
problem though. That the other problem is like wrestlers don't have a good way of making their money
mhm,
after wrestling. Like I mean
right.
like they can they can transcend it. I mean The Rock, John Cena, like a lot of people have gone into movies or TV or any type of social media. Stone Cold with the shows, The Rock obviously, and I already said Cena obviously. Um and Taker has his one man shows going. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe like maybe he's looking at the future and he's thinking, all right, I'm not going to do anything else, so I'm try to get my money while I can. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah, it's a cash
I don't
grab.
want to. I don't want to. I'm not that type of person that criticizes like that. But I would. You know what? You know what the other thing is too. We shouldn't blame the actual guests that are there too much. I should backtrack a little. We shouldn't blame the guests there too much because it comes down to like the celebrity having like a certain price, so they get that like that one that they get that one lump sum price to like appear at the con, and then the con kind of has to choose what the price is so they can make their money back. So
Yeah, well, Sasha Banks was another one. Now that she's I forget, it's Monet. Um,
yeah.
but when she
She's
was
also in Mandalorian too, by the way.
yes, and she was there representing Mandalorian, but she was another
Okay.
she's expensive. Like I think she's expensive to book. That number actually got out into the ether
Oh yeah, I
during the
remember when
show.
that happened, and like she like Twitter just
It
like just
blew
rained
up.
hell down on her. Like who they were like, who are you to charge that much? Like that's I don't know. I don't want to bash anyone on a podcast. I don't
Actually,
think that
the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh, okay, so like I could we're going back to the winning the lottery. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
well, if I had a con, I could pay that. I could just pay that, and Sasha Banks would come to my would come to my convention. I would see if I could find that money.
I can't unless it's like someone I really want to meet in say the sports world like Tiger Woods or like in Star Wars like Hayden Christensen or like maybe a couple others I can think of. But for the most part, like I like to meet people organically. If I have to go and pay to take a photo for 10 seconds and talk to and all, it's like I don't know. That's just too much for me. Like I don't get starstruck too often and I don't like oh, I gotta like pay all this money to like, go do this and that. Like I'm chill about it. If there's a moment to do it, or if we can get together in a group and pay less, then
Mm-hmm.
maybe that maybe that works out. But other than that, like I'm good with trying to meet people organically or just looking from afar, or if they come up to me, that's what it is. I'm pretty humble like that. So I don't know.
Actually, one of authors are always fun to talk to at conventions if they come. Timothy Zahn is probably all time one of the coolest people I've ever met. If you're familiar with Thrawn, that's the author of the trilogy and the I guess
Oh,
to me it's the heir to the Empire. I call it the heir to the Empire trilogy, but it's like all the Thrawn things are really like some of my favorite things about Star Wars.
yeah,
But he is so cool to talk to, and he charges actually zero. So
that's
um,
amazing.
it's very cool. You just buy the books, and he will sign anything you put in front of him. He is really nice with everybody. I mean, it's just like um, the role model for being a guest at a convention, and really just a smart guy. Like he's got a lot of just really cool creative ideas, and he's
Yeah.
just so nice with everybody because he's grateful. Like he never expected um the kind of reception that he got for his work. He wrote it, and he's like, wow, this is amazing. Like everybody likes this. And you
I haven't this is the first time I'm hearing about him, so I definitely gotta look into his work. After this, you can definitely send me some stuff to read and whatnot. I would definitely
Oh,
love to look into it.
absolutely. Yeah, let me write down.
Oh, you're pulling a book up right now.
Yeah.
He's got something.
I have to make sure I take notes because
Oh,
I'm at that stage of my life where if I don't write something down, it'll probably be
I
gone.
have
So
I have ADD, so it's like if I don't write it down, like I have like so many things here, like all these notes, like just stuff like, and I'm good for like not putting things away too. I'm sure you can see stuff back there, like because like if I put it in a drawer, I'll forget that I had it, and if I see it out in front of me, then I'll be like, okay, all right, here we go, I have it.
I have on my desk I have 3 calendars. I don't know why. I really only need one, but I have 3. So it's like
Oh, there you go. Okay.
if I don't know what day it is, that's probably why.
I
Because
got I got stuff on my wall, as you can see, as like reminders and stuff. Yeah, I know how it goes.
but
I know how it goes.
we have I don't know if you've ever heard the term coined cosfit. You may have.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just making something up. I'm starting to call it cosfit.
I've used the hashtag many a time. Yeah.
But that's and I really am. I mean, there's a couple bodysuits sitting in my closet that
Uh,
will probably fit better now than they did once upon a time, like a few months ago,
uh-huh.
because I've really been trying to get serious about not just cosplay and like finishing. I guess going back to Cody Rhodes, finish the story, but the just like the well-being. Like this is kind of the season that I start to talk about things like that and just that
That's good.
participating in a worthy cause. And of course, this isn't like a prerequisite to cosplay. You don't have to like hit the gym nonstop because you want to go be in a costume. But
Right.
and it certainly isn't about the trolls and what they care about, because
Right.
that isn't
Exactly.
right. But that there seems to be a little bit of a wave or a movement inside of at least just some places inside of cosplay where it has been a bit of a motivator to
Yep.
push yourself a little bit harder than you normally would, which is something I've really been trying to do. Like I don't
It's
know if
definitely it's definitely another layer of motivating factor for me, because like some cosplays, I mean, like, I'm mostly clothed for most of my cosplays, but obviously there's some cosplays and some cosplays I've done in the past that, they're a little more revealing, I guess. And I guess that's mostly on the anime cosplay side,
Mhm.
with Zabuza or Ban or maybe a little bit of Ichigo. I try to make sure I'm in, good shape. And I mean, like, obviously cosplays for everyone, and obviously, whatever body size you are, you can cosplay whatever character you want. But for me, mentally, like the way I want to present the character, like as accurate as possible, it's like I want to make sure there's like a six-pack shown for Ban or Zabuza, or what have you. Maybe when it comes to, maybe bigger characters, like I did Goku, and obviously Goku's bigger than me, but I'm not, like, I maybe I'll do like more arm workouts or anything like that, just to like
Mhm.
maybe look a little more defined. But other than that, like, I try to maintain some sort of good shape, so I can use my own body for the cosplays when I'm ready to bring them out. And also just like, like I've had this motivating factor for, I don't know, like maybe since 2012, 2013, for a long time now, and also like I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. I've been doing that for almost 11 years now, so that's
Wow,
also helped me maintain my shape as well. Yeah, I'm a purple
that's
belt.
consistency. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. Bronx Jiu-Jitsu down here in the Bronx, so New York City for anyone who's across the country. Um, yeah, I always try to push, healthy eating and working out, and not just like, any type of working out is definitely better than none, but I try to push weightlifting or martial arts, and going for runs. And I know running's hard. I know actually going outside and run is hard for people, but that's the point. So it's not supposed to be easy. Same thing when people go to the gym and they do whatever workout they can. I try to
Mhm.
tell people, like, put together some sort of bodybuilding routine, like and for the guys that go and do it, they see the results. And the same thing for the women as well. And I know it tends to happen in that realm is, a lot of women are afraid that they're going to get too big. And that's
Oh
really
yeah, I
not
hear
the
that.
case. I mean, like, if you pick the specific weightlifting workouts, that that there are specific weightlifting workouts that you can do that will keep you toned. And I mean, like, I'm not telling people to go like 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, and start lifting like heavy weights and do all that. Just like pick up some normal weights and just start lifting weights. Put together a bodybuilding routine. Like, if you're a guy, yeah, you're gonna get big. If you're a woman, you're not gonna look. I promise you, you're not gonna look bulky. We have, this might be controversy to say nowadays, but men have way more testosterone than women do. So
Yeah, it's
uh,
just it's genetic. That's how it works. And
so we're
that's
we're
yeah,
gonna
that's where
get
the muscle
big,
comes from.
and you're gonna get toned. Now, if you start taking testosterone, if you start taking extra testosterone, then yeah, then that's what's gonna happen. But I think a healthy combination for both men and women of weightlifting and going outside for runs, and obviously eating healthy plays a factor in there too. I mean, if and this goes for both the men and women for how you want to build your body. If you put down thousands and thousands of calories, 3, 4, 5,000 calories, you're gonna put on mass. If you keep it, to 1 or 2,000 calories, you're gonna be in great shape, but you might be a little too skinny, or you're gonna be cut, but you might not be at the size that you want to get to. I know now we're getting into a whole, I'm starting to get into a whole
Yeah, it's well, I the way that I look at it is
a whole thing about it, yeah.
you kind of have to do all the things that you don't do when you're at a con. So you need to
Yeah.
drink, you
And
need
I
to
know a
drink a
lot of
lot of
things I'm
water.
saying, like, yeah, I know a lot. I'm sorry to cut you off. I know a lot of things
No,
I'm
no.
saying is like might be crazy to some people, or it might be like scary, or it might be intimidating, or just it might be completely different but from what you do. But like, if if you're not seeing the results, do the things that you do not wanted to do because they were hard, because then if you do them, then you're going to see the results you want. And I'm telling you right now, discipline wise and for your mental health, I'm telling you, like, you will, if you're on medication, there's a good chance that you might not want to rely on it. And if you were thinking about medication and you start working out, I guarantee you'll stick with the workout and you'll say screw the
Mhm.
medication. So another thing to another motivating factor to get people to work out, right?
Yeah, I mean once you get into it, and yeah, it can be like it takes a while to establish a habit. So the first like a month or so, generally that's how long it takes to create a habit, whether it's brushing your
Yep.
teeth. But it's up to you to keep doing that. And yeah, we're kind of where I was going is like you have to do all the things you would not do at a con. So you have to work out, you have
Yeah.
to sleep, you have to you have to drink enough water, and you have to eat well, have to eat the right things, because generally when you're at a con, you junk out, you don't sleep, you never drink enough water, and
You never drink enough water, you never
you,
eat enough,
and yeah,
you
you're always junking out on whatever the con food is. And
and yeah, the gross expensive con food. And then on, where you're getting like these like little mini, and this is actually at a convention, NYCC. You get like these two little empanadas, like that are this size here, like
Mhm.
just roughly around this size, and they're $16 for like the two of them, and it's just like, yeah, welcome to New York cons, my friend.
Wow. Well,
Yeah, so you
this is good to know.
get those. Yeah, no, I encourage you actually for like New York Comic Con and Anime NYC. The other cons, they're a little bit more reasonable, but well, outside of New York maybe. But bring your own drinks, bring your own food.
Mhm.
um yeah, it's gonna get a little pricey. And then to continue off what you're saying with the not eating, the not drinking enough, or getting the bad con food, there's a little bit of, just, a little bit of drinking that happens during the cons too. So throw that on top of it, and
A
going
little
there,
bit.
yeah, a little, yeah, just a little bit. And doing that for 4 days, a combination of all that, yeah, you're yeah, yeah. So PSA, bring your food, bring your water, save the drinking for afterwards, and focus on having fun with cosplay. And and you'll have a good time during the con.
Yes, and it will set the stage for just lifestyle habits. Things that will positively impact your
Start every day
life.
by making your bed, kids.
That's right. Make your bed. Good habits
Mm.
can go a long way, and it really does. It just changes your brain. That's like brushing your teeth
Oh
with the
yeah.
wrong hand. It forces you into an uncomfortable situation. And
Develop a lot of habits. It'll keep your mind going, and like, I know a lot of people think, well, if I free myself up and to do nothing, then I'll want to, like I'll have time to do this one thing. And it's like no, 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 my friend. Like when you get in the habit of like doing a lot of things, then that'll make you, do more things. So,
and speaking of
life
being in the
lessons.
habits of doing all the things, we talk about plans and just some of the things we might be working on right now.
Finally, we get
Unfortunately,
into cosplay conversation. Yeah.
yes, let's steer back to cosplay.
Let's turn back. Yeah.
You have you've been really, like, there've been so many that have been coming out, and I guess this is more like future, or like what's in the pipeline right now. What are you working on? Unfortunately, I don't have much new to say. Just that I'm like trying to foam out a helmet for Dr. Fate, and like finally just like finish that off, and like
Yeah, Dr. Fate, let's go. Let's
sew a
go.
cape and get this thing done.
Yeah,
That
he's
is my
coming
goal.
out. He's gonna come. You're gonna come hang out with the New York Avengers too as Dr. Fate as well.
Oh, I'd love that. That'd be very cool. I could
Let's go.
do a little guest appearance with all this foam armor that I have that just needs to get put on and taken care of. Like I have all the piece. The only thing I don't have is the cape. Like I just need to like figure that piece out, or
Yeah.
have somebody help me with it.
But yeah, in terms of future plans, should we do future plans now, and or should we um oh, let's go back before we do future plans. Let's go back to because I remember we were talking about and this is how good we are at having conversations. Like, I went back and started from our last interview, and I talked about the New York Avengers, and then we just went on to like all these great topics. But before we talk about future plans, I just want to kind of go back and with all the shoots and all the stuff I did with conventions
Oh yeah.
after we had our last conversation. Yeah, no, yeah, no. I had and I'll just touch on a few things quickly. Like I appreciate like all my friends and all the people that do the shoots with me, and that do at conventions with me, and all my great friends and everyone that hang out in cons with me. And I just gotta give a big shout out to all the people that I've done groups with in the past year, and the past year plus since I've spoke to you. I put together like a really great, besides the New York Avengers, I put together a really great Seven Deadly Sin shoot last year. We had some great people that were a part of it. Let's see, try to remember everyone. Shout out to Gamer Props, Big Fella Cause. Obviously I had Liza as my DN in the shoot as well. There is Kuya, V Cosplay, Prime. These were all people that. Oh, and Cosplay Mars. Let's see, did I get everyone? Yeah. Yeah, no, they were part of my Seven Deadly Sin shoot last year. I just got to give a big shout out to them with the great shoot that we put together. Another group along the way I did. I know I'm getting into anime right now, and I know that's not your realm. And then I also did the Six Paths of Pain last year. That's another big shoot that I'm proud of as well. Shout out to KO Fitness. Liza again. My girlfriend Liza was in there as well as Human Path. Shout out to Cosplay Till I Die, Kuya, Cosplay Mars. Everyone who helped out with the shoot. The Artie Pro and Simply Frank and Ricky. That shout out to those great photographers right there. I've done a lot of we've gotten a lot of great shots of ours throughout the last year. Those are big. I know I'm not the type to talk about myself or the things that I do, but I had to shout out the great people that did my two big group shoots from last year, and shout out to the people that did the bleach shoots with us this year. My friend Johnny, big fella Cos,
Oh yes.
did yeah that did the two bleach shoots that we did this past year with Espada and the captains. Shout out to there's too many people to name. Shout out to all the great people in that group. And from all the conventions, all the things I did with all my friends, with building Doctor Strange throughout the year. McCarrick Abby and her mom Teresa, who's built out some great cosplays for me. She's been building out Doctor Strange and my L card, and she did my Ezio, and more that's going to happen in the upcoming months. Shout out to my Fantastic Four group. Shout out to the new Bleach group that we formed, the new East Coast Go Tape 13. All the stuff I did at the con. I'm now blanking on the stuff I did with the cons last year. And last but not least, with all the great couple stuff I've done with my girlfriend Liza, love you so much. All the great things we did there, the Savage Avengers that we did, that's
it's all very cool.
That's our background on our phone right here. Yes. On both of our phones, that's a background on my computer right here. Jason LeBoy Photography, who got that shot and a lot of great shots of ours. If I forgot anyone, I'm so sorry.
That's a lot.
There's a lot of people.
It's just you've been running at full speed.
I tried to squeeze it into 5 minutes because we talked about so many things, and I didn't want to spend a whole 30 minutes talking about everything. All the members of the New York Avengers, my cousin Mom the cosplayer who got me into this from the beginning. She does wonders still. So
yeah, she does. I mean, she's been
she's been around for 8 8 9 10 almost a decade at this point in the cosplay community. So huge shout out to her. She got me into this to begin with. So and some other and other I think I named everyone.
Okay. That's
thank you. Thank you for your patience on that, by the way.
I can do my best to try and get everybody into the notes. Just as
it's fine. It's fine.
It's a lot of people.
It's fine. Just focus on just the one thing, and I think everyone I named would appreciate that. Just put down just shout out the charity. Just put down the charity group, the New York Avengers, and Fantastic Four, and my Bleach group, and that'll be good enough. And then everyone will see everybody within that, and you'll see everybody.
Yes,
you'll see most of everyone I named within those groups anyway. So
make sure that you're following the groups if you're as you're listening along. Click on people and get on
click on people, click on the people, click on all my friends that I named. There's definitely more people that I should have named. It's just this is the way I talk, and this is
and and I guess I should mention it. I tell people to follow people, not because we're trying to build Insta fame here, but because it's community. I mean, these are
these are my these are friends. These are and not just that. Sorry to cut you off. Not that they're friends, but they're also they do great with their cosplays, and everyone deserves the attention. I could care less if you after this if you come give me a few follows. It's more important to me that there's people out there that are doing great things that you give them the follow, and that's how I've always been. When you look at my page and I post do I have some solo shots? Sure, but for me it's all about my group of friends, and the shots most importantly the shots I do with Liza and my friends and everyone else. So it's just there's certain people who over the years have become more family. So it's a great thing.
Yes. I mean it's just a fun community, and the people that are putting these things together are just doing great work, and it's a body of work that I'm never going to like. I don't have a regret sharing and
No.
shouting out people that we bring up on the show, because they really do. They have a great body of work,
No, I
and
know. I mean, I know it's not a common
yeah,
thing, and I know it's not a common thing, and I don't have like any underlying reason for doing it. I just have it's my reasons are pure. So that's all it is to it. Sorry, I know you wanted to talk about future plans. Sorry about that.
no, not at all. I mean, we can talk about just like if you have one cause plan that you're working on, you're really excited about it. And I mean, like I said,
Well, yeah,
I
no,
wish
I
I had
do.
more in the pipeline, but
Yeah,
there's always
let's
something cooking. I mean,
yeah,
you're coming out with so many cool things.
there's always something cooking, and there's always like shoots. There's a couple of I'm trying to do something else with pain, maybe more with bleach. Obviously, there's always going to be charity events coming up. Doing, excuse me, New York Comic Con and anime, but also as in the last year, I've become a really big Harry Potter fan as well, not just Star
Well
Wars. I
done.
added Harry Potter to my repertoire as well, and not I didn't sit there and watch the movies. I
Did you
read
read the books?
every single book, and Liza loved it. So and we are going to do a creative original shoot of Tom Riddle and Bellatrix,
Ooh,
kind of a kind of shipping the two together, if you will. So
love it.
yeah,
Um,
a little bit of love will be thrown in there for sure. So but with the conventions with NYCC and anime, and I know obviously you're gonna drop this show well before those conventions come out. Um, what's in the cards? Well, obviously I've been for a little now. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus since early July, and pick up. I mean, except for charity events, and gonna pick things back up for NYCC. But there's just definitely some big plans coming up. I want everyone to look out for I'll be there Friday, Saturday of
mhm.
New York Comic Con coming up. I think that's the second weekend in October at the Javits Center. So for those coming by, we got our New York Fantastic Four group, and I will finally be debuting as the Thing for the New York Fantastic Four. For a bit, it's always been kind of like, unfortunately, I haven't been able to make. It's been a growing group right now, and the four members. We got KO Fitness, East
Mhm.
Coast Cap, McHeritic. Um, and then we got me now as the Thing. It's been building up to this point. We also have some other members joining us as well, and we're gonna have a 7-8 member Fantastic Four group. Oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself because that's for Saturday. But the day before on Friday is KO Fitness's Spider-Verse shoot that's returning to NYCC. It'll be 2 p.m. The Fountain a couple of blocks away, NYCC, and this is Friday, and I'll be debuting Peter B in his pink robe from Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
So,
fun.
well, debuting him at the con, I had did a little small thing with Regal. We had did a small thing with Regal a month or two ago, and
Mhm.
I showed up in the Peter B outfit. But yeah, that'll be for Friday of NYCC, and like I said, Saturday we're gonna have our big New York Fantastic Four group, and and unfortunately, I'm not going to be a part of this group that day, but the New York Avengers is going to be doing a Star Wars Rebels group alongside of us Saturday of New York Comic Con. Obviously, Sam as Harrison Dula,
Mhm.
and Liza will be Sabine, and um, do we have an do we have an Ahsoka? I don't know. We got a few. We got some members coming. I don't even know. Was I not supposed to talk
Would
about it?
doesn't Sid have an Ahsoka?
I don't.
The
Does it have
drops?
Ahsoka?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I know. Obviously, what Sam and Liza are going to be. I know the other characters are going to be there, but I just can't remember off the top of my head right now who's going to be who. But look out for that group coming out for NYCC. And then to close out the year, Anime NYC, I'm gonna do another version of Ichigo from Bleach. I know there's not a lot of anime listeners here, but I'm gonna come out with
There are a
the
few.
duels
There are a
on
few.
Getsu, and that'll be built up. I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll be at Anime NYC. I mean, I don't know, unless something changes, but those are in the plans. To follow into next year, Katsu's probably not going to happen for us. I don't really know what is further ahead in terms of plans. Obviously, I have some other characters in mind. I'm sure there's going to be shoot ideas between Liza and I. There's going to be group shoot ideas between me and my friends. Um, yeah, and yeah, those are the very, very highly likely plans that are coming up for the cons, and for the shoot, like I said, between Liza and I. So we can't wait for that to come as well. And yeah, between
that is a ton.
yeah, yeah, between what I've done with all the shoots and what's coming up and all the new cosplays and all the craziness and everything that's happened from when I started to now, it's dude, like a year or two ago, I didn't think anything would get better, and look, and here we are now. I gotta, from when I started, I didn't think, I do what I do with Liza, and all these great cosplays we put together. I didn't think I'd do what I do with the New York Avengers, although, um I've been great friends with these people since not too long after I joined. And I made it a goal of mine to be a part of the group, and I'm glad it happened, because it's a great group of people. Um I didn't think I would have like a Fantastic Four group. I didn't think, like, I'd have, like, this anime group. Like, it's craziness, and it's going to continue at the same rate. I don't know, like, I will say this in terms of like what the plan is. Like, it's going to be very particular when it comes to the conventions I go to. Obviously, I'm trying to build my life and do other things, and obviously cosplay is still going to be a part of it, and obviously money, like I said this earlier in the podcast, money factors in as well. So I'm going
Yeah,
to try to do as
it
many.
does get pricey.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to do as many conventions as I can. I'm going to try to keep the cost down, or be particular at what cosplay I do next.
Mhm.
The shoots are going to be there, obviously. The stuff with me and Liza are going to do are obviously always going to be there. Obviously the charity events are always going to be there. It's just, the rate at which I do things is going to be more particular than not. I still love the hobby. I'm still gonna be the content is still gonna be there. I'm just gonna navigate the waters more particularly. I know it sounds like, oh, it's gonna be less. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna like saturate things, obviously, you know what I mean? And I have done a little bit less this year than last year. So, like, it's not like much is gonna change, but there might be one less convention next year. There might be one or two less cosplays. And like I said, this comes down to money. It comes down to building your life, and um
Choices.
but like I
Yes.
said, like, but with that, it allows you to focus and be a little bit less stressed when it comes to that one particular cosplay, or that one particular shoot, or that one particular con. It allows quality to blossom more, instead of, just with, let's keep, because I've been doing this, like, I've been doing this, what is August will be, oh, where is it? Oh, tomorrow will make it 4 years since my first con. Look
Oh
at that.
wow. There you go.
Well, from the date we're doing this interview right now. So we'll say early August as of for now. Um, but yeah, what is that, like 48 months? I've cranked out, like, 30 cosplays or something like that. And if you do the math, it's like it's a cosplay
Like
every,
every 8 weeks,
like
6 weeks.
yeah, like every, like, 1.5 months. So it's
Mhm.
like, I yeah, I've been putting in a lot of time, so I've been pushing out a lot of cosplays, and I'm not mad about that at all either. Like, there's fun groups to do. There's, if I love the fandom, I'm definitely like, hey, let's do it. Like, I love shoots. I love to do shoots. I love to go to certain cons. I love to do this. I love to do that. But yeah, I gotta catch myself at a certain point and be like, okay, let's let's still do this, but let's also remember, like, there's other things you got going on in life, and we gotta, we gotta budget here and there. So yeah.
Yes.
And like I said, that means there's going to be more quality things, and more of higher quality, and just you know what it is. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, so I don't need to
No,
explain
we get you. We
And
get it.
sometimes I over explain things too much, so I'll cut it off there.
That is the entire purpose of these shows. That is the format that
Yeah,
we are over explaining everything today.
we are. Yeah,
And
we just like keep explaining things. Yeah.
I'm happy about it. If one person clicks a button, I have a good day. And because
I hope to be more of a supporter. I guess if anything, I hope to transition more of a as I still cosplay, like the particular times I want to do. I hope to be more of a supporter, and I'm also doing a little more photography too. So
nice.
there's especially in cosplay too. Obviously, all the shooting I've done. I've in the past I've shot my friends. Obviously more so now. A lot with Liza. I got Eliza. I got some shots of Liza and Sam as Rhea and Trish. So and I'm just trying to build that more and more, and you know, trying to bring it back to that balance
That's
as
right.
the
Yes,
as the two first infamous shows had the titled, right. I forget the particular names, but I knew it had a lot to do with balance.
yes, it's like the balance trilogy that we were going for. And
Yeah.
that was kind of my hope that I'd be able, that I would
No,
be clever enough to come up with
this
with
is the
something.
this is the last part of the balance where things get
Yes.
very strange, and then it's the theme. We're going back to season one, right? We're trying to restart things, get a good balance, and we're all happy again, right?
Yeah. So well, and I guess talking about the just all the things, like everything going on, and yeah, like there's definitely something strange about just the thought process, the changes in philosophy,
About
and
life,
really, like, yeah, just like things in general, like when
about this community in general. No, I'm
yeah,
joking. I'm
I
joking.
mean, I guess I've been around the cosplay block now, and I've seen highs and lows inside of the community, and
Yeah,
I know, like, there's there's a bunch of different sizes. I guess this is the deeper issues.
let's go deep.
Back
Let's go. This is
in
going to be my favorite part of
this
the whole. No, I'm
this
joking.
is
I'm joking.
the deep talk, that that, like, there's a lot of like mental issues that go into
Yeah.
just like things inside of confidence, things inside of worthiness, validation, and all of these things, like really deep rooted things. Like, there's a lot of depressed people out. I'm not naming any names, like,
Depression, anxiety,
there,
PTSD,
and
like there
myself
definitely
included,
is. Yeah.
um
ADHD.
we all have our things, and when you're there, you don't realize, like, you don't see it, you don't see how you reflect, or how you project to other people when you're in that space. Like, you just
Yeah.
don't, and cosplay, it can be a bit, it can go either way.
It's an
You
escape.
yeah, it's definitely escapism, and you can use that, it's just like the dark side and the light side. You can use it for good, and it can be a real positive thing for you, or it can consume you, and you are just joining the dark side.
Yeah. That could
And
be another episode, and we can call it the dark side of cosplay, man. It's
ooh,
ooh,
let's do it.
ooh.
Let's do it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And there he goes. There he goes. He's writing it down. There he goes. No, man. Yeah, no. I mean, like, and the biggest thing to every cosplayer, and I think, like, and I can definitely do it, and we can definitely do another episode where I kind of go into, like, my past and tell you my story, or something like that. Like, every cosplayer has a story of how they got here, like 100%. Like I've heard, I've heard some really insane stories, like, about I mean, I really do not want to go into specifics, but like I've really heard some craziness about like how people got to cosplay, and a lot of the time it's escaping from something. It's identity. Like I'm like, and try to be a little more serious about this. Like, I've seen people post up stories, and I've had conversations with people where, like, they prefer to go by that name that, they titled in their cosplay, or maybe not in their cosplay, in their Instagram handle.
Their handle.
Because and obviously there are people, we all have TikTok, we all have Facebook, we all have Twitter, but for the sake of the conversation and for the sake of where most of the cosplay community lays, it's obviously Instagram. So but yeah, you can see in their Instagram handle, in just how they introduce themselves to you, like, oh, this is my name. And like, cosplay is an escape from that old identity that gives them some sort of trauma or PTSD. And I know we're getting a little real right now, and I know this might be hard to, this might be a hard conversation for some people, but
sensitive, triggering subject, folks. If you're being triggered, I apologize, and you can turn the podcast off at this point.
No, I mean, we'll talk about this.
Discuss, though. It's good to discuss.
No, I wanted to follow up and say, it's a great thing to discuss. Yeah, if this is too much for people, just skip through the next few minutes or whatever. But it's a real serious thing. And people, whether people also, whether they've gotten bullied and they need some acceptance, or they are building, obviously, we have a lot of people in this community that, not a lot, but there's a good portion of people in this community that are personable, that they can have a conversation with you. But there still are, and people might think it's a stereotype, but there are a lot of people that come into cosplay where they do spend 99% of their time in their room, or in the basement, or on the computer, or and their world is their art, their manga, their comic, and that's their thing. And and then they're coming out into this world, and what gives them the confidence is putting on that costume. Now they feel like they can communicate with people when they're under this character that they, in a lot of ways, they relate to. It's I don't know if people like have really noticed this, and obviously there are some exceptions with what characters people cosplay, but like, you could, in I don't want to give too high of a number, but I feel like 75%, 8 out of 10 times, I'll say, to be conservative, I'll say 7 out of 10 times you see someone as a certain character. There is a reason they put on that costume, and 7 times out of 10, I feel like there is part of the personality in that character, in that person that has the cosplay on, or it's a way that that's their inside expressing themselves, like that's a part of their personality. Yep. Outwardly. And I've looked back on the and there's also, like, you'll also notice a theme sometimes with certain characters that are done by certain cosplayers as well. So but like I said, there is the escapism, there is the creative side of it, there is and what, at the same time, when we talk about the antisocial side of it, there's people that use it for the social side of it. Oh, I'm getting together with like-minded people that think like me, and that like want to go have a great time, and we can talk about this anime, and we can talk about this show, or this superhero show, or what have you, and relate on it. And then there's a party, and then there's the camaraderie, and that's actually the big great side about cosplay, the camaraderie, and meeting people with like-minded interests. And do people start making things about themselves a lot? Sure. But I think, like, there's a lot of non-judgy people in the community, as opposed to like going to certain other parts of society where you'll see you dress up like that, you must be this and that, blah blah blah. Obviously that depends on the age of the person, with them judging you on that. But unfortunately, there's still a lot of people out there that see it and they're like, like, what are you, 12? Like, what are you like, not grown up? Are you immature? Like,
I would just agree
so
with them at this point. I'll be like, yeah, like
yeah, right.
I'm just not mature.
At this point, like
That's
when I
my
see the
problem.
comments, I just like the comments. It's just like, yeah, man, like, yeah, that's what it is. Like, because like,
Well, I guess
if there's I'm sorry, if there's anything I learned, there's a reason why people criticize and judge and throw out things. It's because they're unhappy with their life.
right.
They feel like they're behind, and the people that are talking behind your back, there's a reason why they're behind your back. They're behind you. So
Yeah, I mean, you just like from my standpoint, it's just like for everything that I've learned in the last, year that what if you're projecting that, there's something inside of you that maybe needs to be healed or that you need to focus on,
yeah,
focus inward is probably the best advice I've ever gotten, and it's done
focus.
wonders.
Yeah.
Just
Oh yeah.
focus on you, focus on things that you need to do for yourself, and
Exactly. Yeah.
not in a way that
Not in a
tears
selfish way. Yeah.
everyone else
Like you can
down.
still help people. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to tear other people down to build
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
up. And that, I mean, that's pretty core to martial arts too. Like when we get into that, like the inner strength that we talk about inside of martial arts, that indomitable spirit that we talk about inside of martial arts, that is still, I mean,
Mhm.
we're putting on, I mean, it's not a cosplay, we're still putting on a uniform. We're giving ourselves confidence. We're looking apart. And that is part of that. Like if I'm gonna wear a Goku cosplay, if I ever get to that, if I ever
It
get
takes
to
a lot
that
of
kind of shape,
confidence. I'm gonna tell you something. It takes a
you
lot of
gotta have a lot of
confidence and
confidence.
bravery. It takes a lot of confidence and bravery. And like, I'll tell people now who are like maybe trying to get into cosplay right now, if they want like some firsthand like point of view of like how it was. It's like, man, it was really intimidating at first.
Mhm.
And like as time went on, you realize like, who all these people are. Where you stand amongst all these people. You realize they're nerds and geeks just like you and whatnot. But like that first time, like I was really nervous, like just putting on that cosplay and just like what are people gonna think of me when they see me? And my first convention, as I was did a Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black from Dragon Ball Super, like
Nice.
over 100 people wanted to ask to take photos with me, and
Wow.
it just takes like that. It takes that one day of all that to happen to be like, huh. And then like you start to develop this thing where now you could like perform and put on the costume and like talk to a bunch of people. And that's another thing too. You're communicating with people, and like that helps your, and for people who are not that social, that helps your social skills a
Mhm.
lot more. Like, I mean, I've always been a sociable person. I haven't really struggled to talk to people, but like talking in front of a group of people and just general confidence and being able to approach people, and obviously martial arts gave me a lot of that. But like I'm not gonna lie, like communicating with people, like as cosplay went on, like that helped me a lot. That helped me like with communicating people. And uh obviously no one ever wants to be in the situation in those situations, but it helped me not be afraid of like any type of like in-person confrontation. Like it gets a little fearful for everyone. It's confrontation's not easy for anyone. And it's not, and I'm
No.
not promoting confrontation, but someone is going to in at some point in your life get in your face, and you got to know how to handle that. So it helped a little bit with that, and just all the things that require you to interact with people. And people might people might look at that and not think it's that big of a deal, but socialization and knowing how to talk to people and just interacting, I cannot stress how far that could take you in life. Like, cannot stress how far that
Hmm.
can take you in life.
Yeah,
And
it's yeah, and
people
it's
might want
it's
to be
not
like,
easy.
oh, that's not fair. Why does life have to be like that? Why is it, like, people could could throw shit, at the way society is.
Mhm.
And you could till you're blue in the face, you can say like how much a lot of this stuff is manipulated or how it's controlled by society. And where there are things that are controlled by society, one thing that will always be ingrained in us, biology and human nature, um, is how someone responds to you, to the way you talk to them or to people. No matter what, no matter how much society changed, we are all like to a certain degree as human beings are going to respond to a certain type of communication a certain way. If you don't know how to socialize and you're just snapping at people and then you don't understand why people are reacting to you like that, it's like, you can tell me to your blue in the face, well, that wasn't my intention to come off like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll believe you, but there's a lot of people that in life are not going to believe you and not keep giving you second or third or fourth chances. You know what I mean? And also just to communicate with people with such confidence, like people sense that, and you can think you're confident, but like, it can make a difference in terms of the job you get, in terms of, some sort of role you might get, some sort of gig you might get, anything, like making friends with people as well, like that, and networking, and just the way you come off will I'm not joking, like it like obviously it could take you on some sort of like moderate wave path or something like that, but like you can go down this way and you can go up this way. There's a huge difference between like the way certain people are now and the potential of what they can be, like, and I cannot stress that enough, and I stressed it way too much again, so
No, I really like that. It's part of the topics that I'll be bringing up. The 5 areas that we I call it the pillars or whatever. Just really like 5 areas that I look at as far as like a sanctuary, and this whole thing that I'm working on called Avalon that I've been talking about for years. That mental well-being is a big part of this, and like we've talked
this is
about
a great
different pods.
sanctuary, by the way. I love the sanctuary that you put us in. I love the name. Sorry.
Oh, it's a safe space. It's that's part of it is like that. There's a white space in cosplay where nobody talks about all of these things, and it then doesn't really have a forum.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pop culture. There's a lot of judgmental, I would say. Hey, and maybe I'm judgmental in saying it, but it's a very opinionated look at pop culture in general.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
the focus is more on the celebrities and their involvement, and sort of the TMZ approach to things, where it's a lot of like, why did this person do this and why did this happen, and
I was just talking about with Liza earlier. Like the cosplay community is almost like a small set of like how people behave in Hollywood to an extent, except like these people aren't famous. They just they want to be famous,
pretend to be.
or pretending to be. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
even,
like, look, there's I mean, like, fame is a perspective. Like, a lot of people who are cosplay fans, like, they have their own type of world or their own type of perspective on life. So they'll see us and be like, oh my God, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Obviously, in the celebrity world, they see those people as bigger celebrities, but and yeah, and there are some cosplayers that do have some that are very well known within the community, and most that obviously aren't. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the attitudes, and again, like, I'm not, I'm a cosplayer myself, so I try to surround myself with people that are the opposite of all that, and there are still a lot of good people in the community, but yeah, this is along the lines again of one of those topics where the dark side of
dark
side of cosplay.
It's a dark side of cosplay. It's what goes to your head, and that you're always working to like drive up that high score, and it becomes more about that than it does about any of the charity work or any of the community involvement or outreach of the friendships or the fandoms, and it just becomes more like, what am I going to do next, and how many people are going to like it, and how am I going to be validated by those opinions. And it's like this vicious cycle where you may not even like doing it anymore, but you do it because people click on it, and it gives you that sense,
Yeah.
that
Let
dopamine
me
hit.
let me tell I got again another honest thing. I got to be very honest with people again. Like I and a lot of people have fallen into that trap of like you're doing something because oh it might gain views or this and that. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I've fallen into that trap and slowly have had to try to like pull myself out of it because if you go too far, then you start doing too many things because of how other people feel, and you just start going through down this not a rabbit hole, but maybe a gopher hole or something like that, like of just you just starting to put, and then that's what starts to make people unhappy about it. I mean, like aside from the drama and all that, but that's what starts to really make people unhappy about that. And I've been there too. Look, we're all cosplayers posting our content to Instagram. Like there's always a tiny bit of clout chasing in all of us to a little bit of degree, whether we want to admit it or not. And I know, and I know a lot for there's probably some cosplayers listening to this shit saying that's not me. This person's crazy. Speak for yourself. Blah blah blah. I'm telling you, if you don't admit something like that to yourself, you're gonna have like you're gonna have a really hard time trying to do all this for fun or do all this for reasons that make you happy because you know like man you start getting bitter and then you start doing it for numbers and then
Hmm.
like I said it just starting to go down.
It starts to
uh,
consume you, like
it
you
starts to
just,
consume you. It starts, like I said, it
yeah,
starts to
like a
become less
job,
fun.
and
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
fun.
exactly. It starts to feel like a job. Yeah.
Like a job, and you don't, it's a job you do customer service for, and you don't get paid for it, and that's no fun. To just
Yeah.
to always be like you're always on your phone. It's more,
You're like trying to come up with the post and how to set it
yeah.
up and like I'm speaking from experience. Like this is it entails like, you know, especially if you want to be the person to promote your brand, which I have no problem with that. I have no problem with people trying to build up, you know, trying to find ways, you know, as we have fun, you have ways of building up what you're trying to do and promote yourself and there's obviously nothing wrong with that. Just like I said, just don't fall into that trap of you're doing purely things because someone wanted you to do it or you wanted to be a part of this because it was a big group or it was something popular. It's like it's gonna drive you nuts too. And and it starts to change people's like thinking about things because and people will sometimes start like this or get into the habit of thinking like this, you know. Just be careful because you don't want to, because there are people that and this is also be careful who you're friends with. um Friendships start to also become about the cosplay itself. Like, you know, it starts to become this thing where are we friends because we're friends or are we friends because we're all doing
Are we
cosplaying
con
together?
friends? Yeah.
Yeah, like if I stop cosplaying, I know in my mind, you know, like if I start to dwindle away from cosplay, I know the people that I'm going to keep in touch with. And to a degree, I obviously know the people who are probably more likely than not want to keep in touch with me. But you can't be friends with everyone, you know, this is life. Um there's going to be some people you don't keep in touch with. um but yeah, don't fall into that trap, and also watch the people who you're friends with who are friends with you for the cosplay, you know what I mean? Like, and you know, hey, you could test that out yourself. You know, you could when you're taking a break, like see who's still talking to you, still see who still interacts with you. And yeah, and things of that nature. So there's a lot of craziness when it comes to all this stuff.
Definitely is. And we've definitely covered a lot of ground today, which I'm very happy that we have.
Yeah,
Uh,
we've I'm looking at the time. We've gone a bit
yeah,
again that
whew.
time.
No, it's great. I love the
And there's still more
discussion.
topics we have to go into. I know there's still
There's
more.
There are
that we
many,
that
many,
we
many things,
yeah, yeah,
many
yeah.
things that we could talk as the season goes along. Love kicking off everything this way. Sir, where can we, Anthony Cosjitsu, of course,
Yeah.
on Instagram and in many different places, but would you like to give us a little plug and tell us where we can find you and how we can support you online?
Yeah, so yeah, Anthony Cosjitsu on, let's see, we got Instagram. You can do my Instagram. There's my TikTok. There's also Twitter. Yeah, ooh, Twitter. Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
think they call it X now. Is that
Oh wait, yeah, oh yeah, it's called X. Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
X?
Hopefully I don't lose followers saying that I'm on the platform X. I know there's a certain someone out there that gets a bad rap. So, but yeah, I'm on X. I do have my own YouTube channel, and like I have a little Kofi thing, and I probably have a wish list in there somewhere. I don't know. But
I think
if you
so.
go in and if you go in and look at my you if I don't know if you want to write this down in your notes, just go to my link tree or go to the link in my profile. You can see all the other social medias and ways you could, if you want to, I have a Kofi there if you want to contribute some money for whatever.
Yes, and to anyone who wants to be a guest on the show, if you do have a link tree, it saves me a lot of work. So
Yeah,
I
yeah. Oh
appreciate
yeah.
it. We just link tree in the show notes, in the bio, in the yeah, and find all the places that you can
But
support.
yeah, you could find me there. No Facebook setup. And well, no cosplay Facebook setup. Um, and yeah, there's gonna be more of me. I'm gonna come back on this show definitely a few more times this season. I There's definitely more
We sure
topics.
want well, that would be
There's definitely more topics we have to cover, and
oh
there's
yes.
definitely certain topics we're gonna dedicate to certain shows and go into more detail and talk about, crazier things, and whether it's the dark side of cosplay, whether it's the fit side of cosplay, the oh, there's definitely one show I think I want to do when it comes to um hosting your when it comes to hosting your own cosplay shoots and group cosplay shoots. I
Ooh,
think
yeah.
I think I think there's because I've learned from, and there's people in the past that I've learned from, like this isn't like, obviously there's a little bit of my own, I put my own spin on things, but I had to learn some things the hard way to actually put together group shoots properly. So, and obviously doing it with other friends, and the bleach shoots I did recently that I assisted on, and last year doing my own shoots, like, like those would have never been able to, like, I mean, obviously those wouldn't be able to, or I wouldn't be able to contribute and, you know, do my part the way I do my part without learning from a lot of things from when I started out cosplaying. So, um, and I know people might, hear this and be like, "Oh, it's just cosplay." Like, you know, what if, what's it to like me and like one other person or two other people? And it's like, well, yeah, one or two other people, like, sure, like that may not be too hard. Um, but and even with that you might have to do some like legitimate planning. But when you have 8, 9, 10, or I've been a group of like 13, 14 people,
Mm-hmm.
you got, and it's hard to do it yourself. You're gonna need some help, but there is a certain way to do it between photographers, location, getting everyone on board on the picking a date is the hardest part about it. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, just sorry, let's yeah, you
Well,
got
we
all my
will.
places to find me. Go to my link tree on my Anthony Cosjitsu Instagram. You'll find me everywhere. And you'll find me with the New York Avengers. You'll find me with the New York Fantastic Four. You'll find me with the East Coast Gote 13. You'll find me on Liza Cosplay's page, my lovely girlfriend. Love you so much. And you'll find me, just kind of building my cosplays and showing all the other cool things I do in my life on Instagram and all my social medias. So that's a
Yep.
good note we can end on. Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Drop the comments, follow, like, check out the lives when you can, if you get the notification. Well, you know what? Make sure you got all the notifications too, because there's always something cool coming out from Anthony Cosjitsu.
Turn on the Instagram notifications. Turn on all my friends' Instagram notifications. Turn on our group notifications. It's not just me that put together everything I put together. There's so many people behind the scenes,
team effort
between Liza and between all the friends I have, between people in the past that have helped me before and that have were able to set me free to kind of do a little more on my own. And the people have gotten me involved in cosplay, and it takes a big army, it takes a big squad, and like I feel like I have like this this whole big support system behind me, like just, and more than ever too, and realer than ever too. And I'm super grateful.
And it's just a really good space to be in too. Like, I mean, I think that's just such a positive message. Really, thank you for being here, for all the enthusiasm, the energy, and just the wonderful all the things that you do that really add so much value and add so much positivity to the cosplay community. Really, all the growth, and it's we're gonna make up for lost time this season, folks. Because we are Anthony back on the show.
We are, and there's gonna be a lot, and there's gonna be a lot of what me and everyone else is doing, and like I hope me coming back on these shows this season, we're gonna talk a lot of topics that need to be talked about, have a lot of positive conversations, and get everyone, get everyone's art and love and camaraderie out there.
Yeah, and really just to focus on what, for at least in our opinion, this is really about, and what's important, and what the focus can be, versus the chasing the insta fame monster and all those things that do just happen and can get a hold of you. So stay tuned for more. The season is just kicking off, friends, and we have a lot more things coming out on YouTube, a lot more podcasts, different things all over the place, strange things going on this season. Very, very happy to be here, very grateful for sharing this space with my good friend and cosplayer Anthony Cosjitsu. This here is the end of the show, folks. Thank you so much for being here. This is Scotty B with the Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary. Anthony Cosjitsu saying bye-bye, everybody.